Hi Crypto Peeps, hope you're doing well this week, and today's date is 5th of April 2023, and we're having a good week so far. As I look at my chart here, Bitcoin is roughly trading around like $28,552, so it's on the up, it's doing well, and there are indicators that it may go into the low 30s very soon, so keep an eye out on that one. Okay, so here we are with the news. Let's get straight to the news. There's lots of great positivity this week, so let's get to it for you today. Okay, let's start on this first story here. This was from Forbes Digital Assets. It says that Bitcoin and crypto are suddenly braced for a $1 billion US earthquake after Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, Polygon, and Solana price surge. So that's pretty much all the top cryptos surging at the moment. Goes on to say Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies rocketed higher over the first quarter of 2023, making Bitcoin the best performing asset by a significant margin and putting crypto at a pivotal moment. Just take that in mind, what they're saying there at the moment, because, you and I, the people that have been interested in cryptos for, nigh on 5 years or more now, we've taken some stick off people, but listen to what this is saying. I'll say this again. Making Bitcoin the best performing asset by a significant margin. It's great news there. The Bitcoin price has almost doubled from its late 2022 lows as the market bets the Federal Reserve could be about to flip dovish, though the world's largest asset manager has issued a serious warning. The Ethereum price has surged along with Bitcoin and then the other top 10 cryptocurrencies. Now, after the US dumped $215 million worth of seized Bitcoin on the market last month, Bitcoin and crypto traders are bracing for the sale of just over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin later this year. More details there if that would interest you. As with all these news, I'm just reading little news bites here. All the full details are down below, so check the links, do all the research yourself. Next story I have here is on Finbold. Commodity expert warns that 2023 financial crisis could be the worst within our lifetime. After the recent failures of multiple banking giants uncovered inherent risk in the financial system, and the technology industry is recording massive layoffs, Bloomberg's senior commodity specialist Mike McGlone has warned that the upcoming financial crisis could be the worst in our lifetime, rivaling the Great Depression that started in 1929. McGlone explained that the current situation in the global markets resembled a lot to one-to-one preceded of a decade-long recession of 1929 to 1939, but it was also threatening to be even worse, and he told this in an interview on April the 4th. As he pointed out, it's almost guaranteed the recession will be starting at some point soon, and that the enduring deflation was perhaps a big risk than inflation right now, as financial crisis is showing signs of mirroring the crash of 1929 in scale. He goes on to say, I think it's going to be worse than the 1929 financial crisis. I'm saying it's very much 1929-ish. Everything's lined up to the foundation for this to get much worse. According to him, the recent bounces in the stock market, cryptocurrencies, and copper were based on this potential thing. Oh, maybe it's over. Maybe it's a soft landing kind of attitude, and it's going to be fine. And the thoughts that the Fed are going to start easing. But that he thought it was very unlikely for the Fed to ease until the risk assets drop to a new lower plateau. Comparing the present circumstances with those of 1929, the commodities expert said you almost never get significant corrections without lofty prices, and that it always has to be in the back of what's happened before. And here's his quote here. When people said no, these 2020s aren't going to be like the 1920s all over again, they forgot what the 1920s came in the back of, the big stock market rally. It came in the back of a significant depression right before that. What was the foundation for the bear market? Prices went up too high. The exact same thing happened. He also added here, the bank run is clearly happening. We see more deposits leaving US banks on a daily basis. The pace on a 12-month basis is 2%. That's never happened. And our database is going back to 1960. It's always been positive, and there's still tightness. McGlone expressed his expectation that despite regulatory obstacles, Bitcoin was going to return to the trajectory towards $69,000 as it was on its way to becoming a global digital collateral, although he couldn't see the bottom yet. He goes on to say here, there are bumps in the road, there are issues with regulation. But one thing we're seeing recently and lately is it's starting to shine as indestructible. It just never stops trading. The last crisis really was its birth. Now this is defining it. So that's huge news for those people out there like myself and people in CryptoViewing that have been telling you that Bitcoin and decentralized currency are the future. It's what the people want. It's what the world needs. Another piece of news here on Bitcoin is Bitcoin retail buying spikes. Again, I'm sorry about all the Bitcoin news. It's just that Bitcoin is everywhere at the moment. It is dominating news because people are seeing the trends. You can't fudge the figures. So Bitcoin retail buying spikes, adoption accelerating ? They talk about Bitcoin shrimps here, and Bitcoin shrimps are the people that have a very small amount of Bitcoin in their wallet, so they're just buying small amounts. So retail people really testing the waters. So Bitcoin shrimps have been aggressively accumulating recently, and according to data from the on-chain analytics Glassnode, only 116 days in the entire history of the cryptocurrency have seen stronger accumulation from retail traders. The relevant indicator here is the net position change, which measures the net amount of bitcoins entering or exiting the wallets of a specific group or cohort in the market per month. When the value of this metric is positive, it means a net number of coins are entering the wallets of the group in question. This trend can be a sign that cohorts is accumulating right now. In the context of the current discussion, the cohort of interest is the shrimp group, which contains entities that hold less than 1 Bitcoin in their wallet balances. And here's a chart below that shows the trend in total Bitcoin supply held by the shrimps, as well as the cohort's net position change over the last few years. And there's the chart there. And you can see it's massively gone up. The supply held by shrimps, 1.29 million Bitcoin. As shown in the graph above, the total amount of Bitcoin held by the shrimps has been sharply going up for a while now. And it's hit a value of around 1.29 million Bitcoin, which means that these investors have constantly been buying more. The uptrend has been especially rapid recently as the shrimp net position change shows a large spike. At the current value in the indicator, coins are moving into the supply of shrimps at a rate of about 37,000 Bitcoin per month. There's lots more details about that and lots more charts there if that one interests you. It just goes to show that people are understanding, they're seeing the banking crisis, they're seeing financials failing, and they know that decentralized currencies like Bitcoin are resilient, so that's where they're putting their money. Another piece of news here, and this has happened in the last couple of days, you've probably seen it all about Twitter, and this is on Finbold. Elon Musk has been accused of pumping Doge to settle his Twitter debt. So after Tesla and Twitter, CEO Elon Musk randomly changed the blue legacy bird Twitter icon to that of Dogecoin, upon which the meme's coin price skyrocketed. And a Bitcoin purist has accused him of intentionally pumping the price of Dogecoin for his own goals. Specifically, popular Bitcoin maximalist Jimmy Song believes that Musk's recent change of the Twitter icon to the Doge logo was a ploy to settle his financial obligations after acquiring the social media network, and not just a show of support for the asset. And this is his tweet there. And indeed, the price of Dogecoin climbed sharply on April 3rd, soaring more than 22% in a matter of minutes after the unexpected logo change in the Twitter user dashboard, while approximately $1.7 billion had pumped into the digital assets market cap, bringing it to its highest level since December 2022. But, we have to remind you, Musk has been an avid supporter of Dogecoin for quite some time, going back to 2021. And he's done this and he's highlighted Doge many times, in his tweets. But, we have to ask the question here, is he clever enough to be able to manipulate the market? And that's a question you'll have to answer on your own. I can't answer that for you. Seems possible to me now. Another great one here on investing.com. Bitcoin soars amid banking turmoil. And this is a great report from ARK Invest. And I'll read the highlights here. Amid the banking crisis, Bitcoin shows stability, setting $615 billion and handling 9 million transactions in March. Demand for transparent financial services fuels Bitcoin's value and transaction growth amid traditional banking challenges. Long-term Bitcoin holders' supply reached an all-time high, with nearly 70% of the total circulating supply inactive for a year. It goes on to say, as the national banking crisis unfolds, Bitcoin has emerged as a beacon of stability and strength. Now, who would have thought 3 or 4 years ago we would have heard that? Bitcoin has emerged as a beacon of stability, of strength, and the bankings and financials aren't. Just take that in. So with key data points from ARK Invest March report highlighting the cryptocurrency's resilience. During this tumultuous period, Bitcoin settled $650 billion, facilitated around 9 million transactions, and issued approximately 26,000 new Bitcoin at a steady 1.8% inflation rate. The flagship cryptocurrency attracted about 13 million new addresses and generated $700 million in revenue for miners securing the network. In March, bank deposits experienced a 4.1% drop, whilst the Federal Reserve's decisions led to Silicon Valley Bank's bankruptcy and the instability of other regional banks. Despite these challenges, Bitcoin's value appreciated 49% from a low of $19,500 in March 10th to $29,100 on March 30th, showcasing its potential as a safe haven during financial crises. The ARK Invest report also highlights the growing demand for more transparent, auditable, and decentralized financial services in the face of the banking crisis. This is a fantastic report. It's a fantastic article. As you can see, it goes on and on. There's lots of data in there. Have a look at that. ARK Invest know what they're doing. They're key people in the field. So that's it with the paper-based news. I'm now going to go move on to some video-based news here. And the first one here we got today is on Altcoin Daily. I'm a great fan of their work. They put out content as their title says, daily. It's very good, very informative information. This is a great piece of news, and it goes into lots of detail about what's happening in crypto. So it's pretty general, but very good. It goes on for around about 8-9 minutes. That's good. So that's your first one. My next piece of news here is on Coin Bureau. Love these as well. They put out regular content 2 or 3 times a week. Fantastic source of information. And the more informed you are, the better decisions you can make. So Coin Bureau, this is about crypto news in general, finance, the ETH upgrade, AI, all kinds of stuff happening on there. That's a fantastic piece of news as well. 22 minutes, well worth it. At the bus stop, taking a break at home, watch this kind of stuff, fill in your knowledge gaps. My third piece of news here is on Bloomberg Television. I'm not so much into the key players of media industry, but they do put out pretty good general content here. Again, this is just about everything that's happening in the market, what's going on there. So that's great to listen to as well. Have a look at that one. That one goes on for around about 23 minutes, I believe. Yes, so that's 23 minutes. Have a look at that for just a general overview. All these are really good just to tell you all the things that are going on, because, you're probably like me. You've got a busy life, so you need to fit your research in. Great resources, and there are plenty more on YouTube and TikTok. I advise you to look at those. They're fantastic resources for finding details on cryptos and what's going on in the markets. So that's pretty much it with the news this week. I hope you like this. Give us any comments down below. Let us know what you want to see, if I can get more for you. Hit that subscribe button and the like button and the comments. We love reading your comments. Have a great week out there. Take care. Be safe. Do your research. Namaste. See you next week.